Historically, referrals have been something we've been really bad at, honestly. Um, Part of it is just because we kind of get lazy with leads. You're just loading up week after week after week after week with more leads. Um, we haven't really had as strong of an incentive, as silly as that sounds, to do referrals better. But I think because the gift card is tangible, if we do it again, doing the right thing at the right time in the right way, the gift cards could really get this referral engine going. That's the interesting thing about business, guys. It's like you learn to to make a profitable business with your fixed costs, and that's your leads. But once you pass your fixed costs, any extra premium, like literally one extra app, the profitability starts to get exponential. So any extra app where you didn't have to pay for leads, like your business changes dramatically. Guys, I've seen people's profitability increase by six figures from one year to the next with like the same activity. They're just working smarter. They're getting more effective. All right, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. This is Pedro Vega. Welcome to our Cardinal Senior Benefits Morning Pursuit Call. Here at Cardinal, we promote peace of mind. We begin again, and we pursue excellence. We do that a bunch of different ways, mainly by controlling what we can control with our effort and by being intentional with our attitude. We do our best here at Cardinal to choose and cultivate a positive attitude of service and perspective. We know that it's hard to be nervous if our heart's on service. And whenever we're thinking biggest picture, we tend to win, we tend to serve, we tend to be better, right? And man, it's Thursday, right? So it's Thankful Thursday. It's great to lean into that attitude of gratitude. And I'm just so thankful that I got all these people jumping on the call this day, right? And building together, right? Building a vision, a life that we're proud of, building a life that our loved ones will thank us for one day. I'm still riding on a little bit of a high from this trip. It was a great time. Again, we're the average of the five people we interact with most often, right? Time is, that's the most precious thing we have, right? So where we put our time, man, that's monumental. And who we interact with day to day, that's a privilege. So, we got to be aware of how we affect the people that are around us. I feel like the trip is just a great reminder of like, man, I get to be influenced by these people, and I have the responsibility of how I'm influencing them, right? So day by day, in every way, by the grace of God, we are getting better and better, and we're doing that together. All right, so a lot to recognize this morning. I'm going to have Mr. Robert Dykes that's going to be sharing with us in a bit. I'm wanting to focus more, especially this year, on just this idea of building a book of business, like, and how much of a privilege that is, how many ripples can come from our business, especially if we're intentional about them. So, I was thinking about, it gets better because we get better, right? And it gets better because our book gets better. All right. Now, the rate at which our book gets better depends on how intentional we are on the front end. So we're going to be talking about that a lot more on our Thursdays, right? We got to be thankful for the business that we have and how much better it can get. All right. So, man, we are off to some great momentum. Let's get into it. So, Mr. Robert Dykes, good morning. Good morning, sir. Can you hear us?
Good morning, Pedro. How we doing?
Doing great. Doing great. So I got to spend some time with Dykes in New Orleans and Giant, and it was a great time, celebrating just the monster year both of them had, just getting married, huge explosive growth on the year, and they got huge goals for this year. And one of the things I've been very impressed with Robert, one is just how coachable he's been from the very beginning. And he's really been approaching his business as a book of business, him and Gianna. And that's going to be something we're going to be talking a lot more about, this year. So we'll get into some of that, how to make sure we're working through the beneficiaries better, annual reviews, a bunch of different things. But so we're going to be talking about this, right? It gets better because we get better. It gets better because our book gets better. Before we get into what you're going to share, I want to reiterate more about how the gift cards, if we're utilizing them properly, how referrals can become a massive part of your business. Historically, referrals have been something we've been really bad at, honestly. Part of it is just because we kind of get lazy with leads. You're just loading up week after week after week after week with more leads. We haven't really had as strong of an incentive, as silly as that sounds, to do referrals better. But I think because the gift card is tangible, if we do it, again, doing the right thing at the right time in the right way, the gift cards could really get this referral engine going. So I'm going to hit that just technically, Robert, then we can, I'll give you the floor. Guys, we have missed the boat on the gift cards. We've done them the wrong way, I think across the board pretty much this whole time. So obviously we're switching gears. Everyone is covering their gift cards going forward. That's happening pretty soon. I think starting the week of the 23rd, February 23rd, that should go into effect. Now there's going to be a digital way to send that gift card with that Walmart link. I encourage everybody to do it themselves. You could do like $5, $10, whatever. I did it. Guys, you sign up, click your credit card on there, pick what you want. You enter their email, okay, and they get it instantly, okay? So put yourself in so you can fully go through the process to see how it works, but it's one email. They open it up. It's got that barcode right there. You say, yep, you just scan that barcode at the register, and you're good to go. It works just like money. It's real easy. So where I think we've missed the boat the most, I'm not say I think, I know we've missed the boat, is the whole, it's not y'all's fault, because we made the system where you would, fill out that form. This is the old system. And then Kelly would send them that gift card within 24, sometimes 48 hours. And it was a little more clunky than we'd want it to be. So I think what was happening is people were leaving, you're signing them up, you're leaving. And even if for the people that did, quote unquote, give them the gift card right then and there, I think in their mind, they're still kind of like, man, am I really going to get this gift card? And so I feel like they're leaving with this subtle suspicion of, this ain't going to work. If you think about it, guys, how many times have the people we serve, how many times have been ripped off, right? And then there's people that, for whatever reason, they just don't give the gift card at all, or they haven't been, right? Or maybe they say, oh, I'll give it to you on the first payment. In my opinion, guys, that is the dumbest way to do it. With all due respect, I think it's a missed opportunity, a massive missed opportunity. And some of it, I think, is walking over dollars to pick up pennies. Like, oh, what if I give a gift card and someone cancels? And it's like, well, guys, people cancel anyway. Okay. So let me ask you a question. If you had a machine, okay, and in this machine, you put $50 into this machine, okay, and then a $400 direct deposit came out of it. How many times would you be doing that at that machine? Okay. And let's say you get 20 gift cards and 4 canceled. Okay. Think about how much annual premium came from the other 15. Okay. If you're doing it the right way, again, doing the right thing at the right time, in the right way. Right. So some of this, I'm trying to answer a couple objections here because we're trying to change some habits, but we all have the same skin in the game now. We all have the skin in the game of we're covering the gift card. So how about you amplify, okay, that impact of doing it. Okay, so this is how I believe you should leverage the gift card. One, you read off the lead in the beginning verbatim. Okay, you read off verbatim. Yeah, Ms. Betty, you introduce yourself. Say, like I say, my name is Pedro Vega, Cardinal Senior Benefits. Say, let me show you my, I'm required to show you my ID. Let me get that out of the way first. Show them the ID. But hey, the way I got connected with you is this right here today. And Ms. Betty, it's super simple. You get a $25 gift card for getting a qualified quote for burial insurance. Ms. Betty, pretty much everyone I sit down with is in one of two situations. And I'm going right into the sit down. Guys, I don't mention the gift card at all the rest of the presentation. Okay, at all. Now, I know there's some people like, well, what about the people that just want gift cards? If they're aggressively like, where's my gift card? Where's my gift card? Where's my gift card? Well, the lead is very clear. I just got to, I got to get you a qualified quote. It only just take a couple minutes to ask you some questions about your health, see if I can get you qualified. If they're super aggressive, like, why do you want my gift card? Well, guys, that's not a prospect. You can just pack up and get out of there, right? On to the next, right? We like to give our energy to people. We don't like people taking energy from us, right? So there's that, okay? And fast forward, you're signing them up, right? You've saved your number in their phone, theirs in yours. You're packing up, you're getting out, and you need to do the, oh, gosh, Miss Betty, I almost forgot. I got you that qualified quote today, so I got a gift card for you. Okay. You can pull out that physical gift card, right? I think because you should have a physical gift card on your clipboard. It'll help you get in more doors. Okay. You can still give it digitally, right? But at least having that gift card, it helps you with the body language of landing the concept of this referral. So you're saying, all right, Ms. Betty, well, I got a gift card for you. And Ms. Betty, if there's anyone in your circle, family, friend that you think I should maybe sit down with to talk to about this, hey, if I can get them a qualified quote, just like I did for you today, I'm holding a gift card out. I'm more than happy to give them a gift card, kind of like motioning away. Okay. I'm more than happy to give them a gift card, but I'm also happy to give you another gift card. And that's when I'm physically handing that gift card to them. Okay. Man, if you're doing this the right way, their eyes are lighting up. Okay. Guys, when I was selling, I wrote 11,000 in 3 days doing it this way. I had another 3,000 in referrals that called me uninitiated after the fact. Pedro, you got to talk to my brother. You got to go see my sister. You got to go see my niece. Okay. All right. I know I'm a broken record. That's my job. I'm a professional broken record. If you do that in the way I told you, the way I said it, do that 200 times. Give 200 gift cards and say the words the way I said it. Gosh, how much money would that be? One in gift cards, that's $5,000. Okay. But again, $50 in the machine, because that's one for them, and that's one for the referral, and that's one for them, right? For a $400 to $500 direct deposit. Man, I'd be doing that all day long. All right. I haven't said that enough. I'm going to be saying that a lot more often. So that is you creating referral generators nonstop all the time. Okay. All right. So I'll calm down for a second and switch gears. So Backus, you and Jan have been doing a great job with book management, and you're getting better and better at it. So I'd love to give you the floor to discuss a little bit about how you are improving your book of business, how you're being intentional as you go, and maybe some of your favorite ways in which you're serving the families you're coming across. The floor is yours.
Hey, thank you for the opportunity to speak this morning, Pedro. And I think all those things you shared are very, very valuable. And I like the idea of just like a generator. It definitely should be doing that with every client. I gave a $20 bill instead of a gift card yesterday, and he was really happy about that. And now, sure enough, later on this afternoon, I'm coming to sign up, his loved one. And so, yeah, it definitely does work. It definitely does work. But yeah, for book management, I think that as salespeople, as entrepreneurs, we don't want to be people that just sign up, clients for life insurance and then never speak to them again. Because if you do it that way, you're really just, you're really just a salesperson. You're not really a business owner, because you're not creating a book of business that you can call upon anytime that you'd like and have conversations with them, see how you can help them in other ways. And, I'm not an expert in the book management field quite yet. I think I've learned a lot from Gianna. She's done extremely well in this kind of thing. She's very relatable and very personable over the phone. And so, everything I know is stolen goods, right? In the very beginning, I was just selling policies, not talking to my people. And as you've been in the business long enough, you understand that there's things that you can be doing that can make your business more profitable, especially if you have, over 500, 700 clients that need servicing, and, you haven't spoken to them in a year, 2 years. And, within that time, they could be doing anything. They could be, signing up for another life insurance policy with somebody else. They could be having another agent help them with their Medicare. They could be giving referrals to other people that are more in front of them. And
Hey, Dacus, I think you cut out for a second. I don't know if your phone dropped off or you muted yourself. Okay, he might be coming back in. So, now that we have our own CRM, Nick just made the announcement the other day that it's easier to enter.
sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. You were saying
Okay,
about
sorry.
they could be buying something different from you, or Now, and I know John had mentioned like a basic process of just those annual reviews and how you kind of go about that conversation. And maybe I can ask you, like, how are you staying organized better on the front end so that you can follow up more effectively at the right times.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got just the thing for this. So with annual reviews, like you said, you've got to do some things on the front end to make it easier on the back end for you. I personally, well, John and I, we have an assistant who is from the Philippines who actually tracks all of our business that we enter. We let her know what it is. If it's a $70 mutual Omaha, we let her know about it, and she puts it into the system. She puts it into the business tracker. She puts in things like the coverage amount, policy number, their date of birth, issue date, all that stuff, and it's in one big tracker that we have. And it's really important to do that on the front end because, 6 months, 1 year down the road, if you are finally inclined to do some annual reviews, I know Trevor's been doing them too. He's been really good at them. But once you finally are able to do annual reviews, then you can call them up and see if you can, upgrade their situation. But you wouldn't have that. You wouldn't have it organized unless you did it the right way the first time.
It's almost it's all about lead generation. These are just different types of leads if you think about it. Like we have our lead system that gets you off the ground, helps you fail in a structured way, teaches you how to close. But if you really can build a book of business, then, before you know it, it's a year later, right? So it's kind of like every month that goes by, you have people that have been with you for a year. Eventually that happens. And if you can be organized enough, just again, this is a vision for the future. It could get to the point one day where one day a week, it could be annual review Thursday. You know what I mean? Where on Thursday, all you do is just call people that have been your customer for over a year. And you just check in with them with the basic sales talk. Hey, it's your agent. How you doing today? Great. Share something positive that's going on in your life. Well, obviously it's been a year. I wanted to check in with you to see if anything has changed. I wonder if there's been any changes to your health. Maybe another agent has stopped by. I was curious if you've maybe gotten any other type of life insurance that I can just double check for you. And if you're doing that properly, it's kind of like you've already laid future leads. You've sowed the ground. But again, you need a system. You need to be organized on the front end and then a system for which you're going to be able to follow up with them. I don't know if that makes you think of anything or how that resonates with you.
Yeah, it definitely does. I think the annual review, there's three parts to the annual review. You first call your client. It doesn't even have to be a year. You can really do, hey, I'm doing your 6-month review. Do you have a few minutes? But the script basically goes that I've been kind of utilizing is you call up your old client, say, hey, Miss Betty, this is Robert, your life insurance agent. How are you doing today? They're doing okay. I say, great. Reason why I was reaching out was because I wanted to do your annual review. Do you have a few minutes right now or would later be better? And either you get to talk to them, right then and there, or you can set up appointment for later on in the day. And so the first part to the annual review is you want to go over their policy, explain to them what they have. You have a $10,000 Mutual of Omaha policy and you're paying $56 for it. And basically another thing that I've been doing is, for example, if I recently got Americo and I have a lot of clients that are on, Trans Express, Royal Neighbors, even GTL, and Americo's underwriting is, it's definitely pretty good for a lot of these people. And I've been able to get a lot of people who have been on those carriers to a much better rate, even 1 to 2 years later, with Americo for their Eagle One product. And so if you can see that people can qualify for something like that, just tell them, I was looking at your life insurance. It looks like you can qualify for an upgrade or discount, right? And basically just see if get their permission if you can try and get them a better rate. And another part to that first part of annual reviews is you want to ask them if obviously if they've gotten any other life insurance since the last time that you spoke with them. And you also want to remind them that, prices of burials and cremations are on the rise. And if they were thinking about getting any more coverage. And, you'd be surprised by how many people actually want to get some extra coverage for their family. How many people have been thinking about it? A lot of people will just say, yeah, just show me what it would be for an extra 5,000, 10,000. and then you show them what their new payment would be. And a lot of the times people are completely okay with adding another 5 to 10,000 to their policy. And, you stack that up over a week, and that ends up being a pretty good amount in extra AP.
Well, and it's
And
it's
so,
AP without any lead cost. You know what I mean? And
right,
that's the interesting thing about business, guys. It's like you learn you learn to make a profitable business with your fixed costs, and that's your leads. But once you pass your fixed costs, any extra premium, like literally one extra app, the profitability starts to get exponential. So any extra app where you didn't have to pay for leads, like your business changes dramatically. Guys, I've seen people's profitability increase by 6 figures from one year to the next with like the same activity. They're just working smarter. They're getting more effective. Um, so dude, I'm totally with you, man. And you and John have been a lot more proactive about that over this last year. Again, congratulations, man. Over a 300,000, Dyke is 326,000 in annual premium. Getting over 300 is a big deal, massive deal. So congratulations again for this past year. But what's exciting is, man, if you wrote the exact same thing, your profitability could increase 50, 60,000 in a year with the same amount of premium. Like I've seen that happen, guys. Same amount of premium, but the profitability is dramatically different just because we're getting more effective. Like you're learning to get leaner. And I mean, that's what it's all about, right? That's what we're trying to get better at. Um, well,
right.
Dyke, we're getting closer to the end, but any just last thoughts um, for, people getting started or things for even experienced people that maybe they can start incorporating, today or this week.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Just to finish up on the annual review part, the second part of that is doing like their Medicare review, like reminding them that you are a Medicare broker for the people that do Medicare. Has somebody been able to do an annual review for your Medicare plan? Look into their Medicare. You're already their life insurance agent. If you can get a little bit of Medicare business in there and you'll help them with both, then, that's going to be really good too. And I've had a lot of situations where I've been able to do that. And then lastly, it's just asking them if they know of anybody, brother, sister, or even a best friend that could use help with this kind of thing as well. Who do you know, brother, sister, or best friend, that I can help in the same way that I've helped you? And, get some extra referrals in there.
Well, and then now you have a gift card, right? Gift to get. You have an instant way with Walmart to send them a gift card. So why not remind them, oh, and remember, Betty, I got you that gift card last time. Again, you just use it. You know what I mean? You use it. If there's anyone in your circle, if I can get them a qualified quote just like I did for you, I'm more than happy to give them a gift card. I'm more than happy to send you another gift card. You got that little, obviously, I just think it's a no-brainer. I've got to utilize them better. But thank you for sharing, man. I'm excited to be promoting this a lot more. Give people having a bigger vision, a longer term vision for what's possible with their book of business.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Pedro.
Hey, whoa, hold on. You're about to sign off without a quote. I know you got bunches of the quotes, Takis. Got to give me a quote, man. Give me a quote.
We'll give you a quote
Next week.
Let me see.
Because now it's what you actually use, right?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that's coming to me is just choose your heart. You can choose the pain of regret or choose the pain of discipline. And you always have to choose discipline. Discipline will give you so many rewards in the future. For every disciplined effort, there is a multiple reward. That's what I've got.
See, I knew you had one. I knew you had one. I knew you had one. All right, man. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so let's get back to vision, right? Guys, if you're putting in the work, you do what we're teaching you, right? We talk about if you're building that foundation, hitting the 3 out of 4 metrics, 35 plus hours, 60 door knocks. Okay, getting back to the basics. Not random doors down the road, but knocking on the doors of leads. You don't try to hit each lead twice. Some of the stragglers a third time, right? So 35 hours, 60 door knocks, 12 presentations. Paying the price to figure out how to sit down with 12 plus people in a week, and then 4,000 in annual premium. Okay, so it's 4 numbers. Any combination of 3 out of those 4, we call it our 3 out of 4 formula. If you can work until you hit 3 out of those 4, you're going to learn how to make your first 6 figures. Now, that should be the grittiest first 6 figures. If you fully did that, 48 out of 52 weeks, you used our sales talk, call us in every house, you'll get that first 6 figures. And it is gritty. It's grindy, right? Because you don't have a book of business supporting it. Okay. But if we start implementing these things we're talking about with referrals, being organized for annual reviews, we're going to touch on keeping track of underwriting, right? We're going to be talking about book management a lot more. Then it doesn't have to be the same kind of 6 figures, okay, year after year after year, right? It gets better because we get better. It gets better because our book gets better, right? So that's something that we're going to be doing better. You know, you get that first 6 figures, and then you can add, and that first 6 figures is that fast 6 figures in terms of upfront 9-month advance commissions, right? But then you can start incorporating Medicare, which can help you build a slow 6 figures, okay? Where you're just cross-selling and serving people as you come across it. Obviously, we need to have the right expectations on retention. But if we're utilizing that with the referrals, checking in with our clients, your business profitability can increase year after year after year. And then you can eventually get into adding the annuities. All that comes together with being organized with your book. All right, guys, we're at time. I appreciate you guys being with me today. Remember, it takes all day to have a great day, all week to have a great week. Any given house can double or triple your week. It happens all the time. So just keep it simple. Remember, no time's a good time. Right now is the best time. Don't think, just work. Action cures fear. The answer's behind the next door. And, screw it, just do it. Keep it simple. All right, guys, you have a great day. God bless. Catch you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you very much.